Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, First Nations leaders rally outside the law courts as a judge considers stopping a petition in favor of separation. Keeping teachers' beliefs out of the classroom, an Alberta minister defends the province's amendments to the Education Act. And heart attack survivor, how buying a new car helps save this man's life.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
A rally was held near the law courts on the second day of a judicial review into the legality of an Alberta separation referendum. Members of Treaty 6, 7, and 8 First Nations are fighting against the separation movement. Meanwhile, in the courtroom, an interim order could stop the petition in its tracks. CTV's Connor Hogg reports.
We see decisions that are made without us, about us, on lands that were never given up.
Members of Treaty 6, 7, and 8 First Nations took to Churchill Square today, rallying against the judicial review of the Alberta separation petition they say disregards their treaty rights.
I think the showing here today is, like I said, a reminder that those agreements are sacred covenants to First Nations.
Sturgeon Lake Cree Nation has asked for an interim order to stop the petition. Today, representatives of the Blackfoot Confederacy spoke in court about the judicial review. The review debates whether First Nations concerns should be considered before or after a constitutional referendum question. It also covers the effect an independent Alberta would have on Indigenous treaty rights, such as complications like international borders. Speakers say a pattern of disrespect for Indigenous rights has been shown.
They're disregarding how we feel, and they're disregarding the treaty that we signed with the Crown.
What we're doing is right. We know it's right.
It makes me sad, my heart. It makes me sad to know that this is actually happening.
Jeffrey Rath from Stay Free Alberta is in the courtroom as a bystander. He says blocking the petition would flip the Constitution on its head.
They're asking the court to overrule a statute of the legislature that removed a section of legislation to expressly allow this petition to go forward. And they're suggesting that somehow or other the court has the jurisdiction to rewrite the legislation.
Rath says there is Indigenous support for Alberta independence, and the process is not violating treaty rights.
It's a very difficult situation. I wish the chiefs could simply internalize the opportunity that this presents them to actually sit down at a negotiating table with Canada and Alberta in the context of negotiating independence and resolving all of their outstanding treaty violations. I'm doing this because I believe that this is a way to address all of the ongoing violations of their rights by Ottawa.
The hearing continues tomorrow when Stay Free Alberta will present its argument. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
A man in Edmonton is facing more than 24 charges, including human trafficking and bestiality. 47-year-old Jonathan Allard was arrested late last month. Alberta's law enforcement response team says the investigation into Allard began last June. A woman contacted police saying she came to Edmonton thinking she was going to rent a room. Investigators say she was then forced into the sex trade. Alert alleges Allard exploited and trafficked at least 10 women. It has only identified 5 of them.
We need survivors to come forward and talk to us. We need them to tell us their story so that we can take further steps to hold the traffickers accountable.
Investigators say there was also evidence a dog was being sexually and physically abused. Allard is currently in custody ahead of his next court appearance next week. A teenager is facing a second-degree murder charge following the death of a man in West Edmonton. An autopsy completed yesterday found the 52-year-old is a homicide victim. Last Friday evening, police were called to a home near 82nd Avenue and 175th Street for reports of an injured man. He died in hospital. Police say they arrested a teenage boy at the house who knew the victim. The Edmonton Police Service will not say how the man died. The Alberta government is warning us about a measles exposure at the Stollery Children's Hospital. The exposure was at the hospital's X-ray department and waiting room between 5:30 and 10:15 Saturday night. The province says anyone who visited this location during that time who was born in or after 1970 and has fewer than 2 doses of the measles vaccine or has never had the disease may be at risk for developing measles. Symptoms of measles include a fever, cough, red eyes, and a rash behind the ears and on the face. A man from Hinton who recently survived a heart attack has met the team who played a role in saving his life. It wasn't the first responders. It was the people who created a special pill holder that helped slow down his symptoms. CTV's Nera Manisa has the story.
Buying a vehicle at the Southside car dealership may have saved David McKay's life. Every February for Heart Month, Wheaton Honda hands out a special pill case to help prevent heart attacks. McKay picked up a few when he signed off on a new car.
This is why I'm happy to be here. Because like I say, that could potentially have saved my life.
8 months ago, McKay had a heart attack.
I just lied down to sleep and I felt the pain.
That's when he reached for the SM Heart Card. One capsule has 4 aspirins to prevent a blood clot. The other has 3 nitroglycerin pills to increase blood flow.
The smart card that you used was developed here in this laboratory.
Today, McKay got to meet some of the people behind this project. James Stewart created the card at the University of Alberta with the help of several doctors and researchers. Stewart says every minute counts when you're having a heart attack.
I always tell people, can first responders get to wherever you are within 10 minutes? If the answer is no, carry aspirin and carry nitroglycerin to save yourself.
The pill case is refillable and comes with a cell phone sleeve.
We wanted to make sure that it was portable and accessible when some of the other products aren't, and people aren't carrying them around and they're cumbersome to carry.
McKay went back to the dealership to thank them. Staff say he's not the only one.
We've had 5 customers walk into my office. I actually had a gentleman come in hugging a pillow after having a bypass operation, and his wife made him come here to thank us.
McKay says he initially grabbed a few cards for his co-workers. Instead, he was the one who needed it.
It could have went way worse, and this got the blood flow immediately moving, and I'm grateful for that.
The pill card is available online and in local pharmacies. Nera Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Students showed off their final projects today from a sweet university course. These chocolates are more than just delicious. They're examples of complex chemical engineering feats. These University of Alberta students spent the semester studying the properties of chocolate. The goal of the course was to use material science and engineering to explain how the atoms and molecules of chocolate behave. For example, what might make the chocolate snap or have a glossy appearance.
Normally we're working with ceramics and glasses and polymers, carbon fiber, iron, aluminum, that kind of thing. So all of a sudden to go, oh, we can study chocolate. You can get course credit for studying chocolate. I think that piqued a lot of people's interest. And unlike every other class, we're allowed to eat in the lab.
23 students took the class this semester. Josh, I've never really had an appetite for science. That might be changing, though. And some delicious news regarding the forecast if you haven't been loving the snow lately.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably still going to see several more snow events before we're completely done with it. But over the next couple of days, big warming trend on the way. We're at 5 degrees downtown Edmonton right now. Everybody's about a handful of degrees above zero. And not bad wind, 10 to 15 kilometers per hour, 5.4 so far. There's a chance we get a little bit warmer and get to 6 here before we're done warming up. But as of right now, 5 is the daytime high. -2 is where we started the day. Should be back into that 8 or 9 degree range. So back to around average tomorrow. And then even warmer after that. We'll get to that in a couple of minutes. First, take a look outside with the CTV drones brought to you by Century Casinos. 3 great locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Mostly cloudy skies. For a while there, you had some sunny breaks earlier this afternoon. I think we'll see a lot more sunshine over the course of the next couple of days to go along with those warmer temperatures. Here's what's going on with the clouds right now. East central, northeastern Alberta, some more light snow. And off to the west and northwest of the Edmonton area, a couple scattered showers. Right along Highway 16, that should slip past the southwest corner of the city. You might get a couple little drops of rain or some wet flurries before this evening is done, but no significant precipitation for tonight here in the Edmonton area. -2 tomorrow morning, partly cloudy skies, and about 7 or 8 for a daytime high tomorrow afternoon, and then double digits. Probably into the teens for daytime highs Friday and Saturday. We'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. The new event park coming to downtown Edmonton took another step forward today. The Oilers Entertainment Group has selected the design team. HNTB specializes in designing sports and entertainment venues. And architecture firm Dialogue has designed many Edmonton projects like the Walterdale Bridge and the Royal Alberta Museum. The new event park will be built in the space downtown, currently known as Fan Park, next to Rogers Place. OEG says construction is expected to begin next year. The Edmonton Oilers have nominated goalie Connor Ingram for the Bill Masterton Trophy. It's awarded to the player who exemplifies perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication during the season. The trophy's 3 eventual finalists will be named at a later date. Ingram will start in goal tonight, by the way, when the Oilers face the Sharks in San Jose for the final time. After picking up 1 point during an overtime loss in Utah last night, the Oilers are now tied for first in the Pacific Division with the Vegas Golden Knights. Third place Anaheim trails by 1 point. Tonight's game begins at 8 o'clock. It's the Oilers' 4th last game of the regular season. Coming up next on CTV News, learning the basics. The province amending legislation to keep personal opinions out of the classroom.
Our schools should be places where we teach students how to think and not what to think.
Thursday on Your Morning, all AI is not created equal. We'll talk bots and agents. They can't help with major projects, but should we let them for our brain's sake? We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
The province is sticking to its neutrality messaging on the bill that aims to remove bias and ideology from Alberta classrooms. Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides says Bill 25 responds to concerns he's heard from parents. Educators, though, argue personal bias is already covered through professional standards. CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports.
Our schools should be places where we teach students how to think and not what to think.
Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides says his government's amendments to the Education Act in Bill 25 will ensure teachers keep any personal bias or ideology out of their lessons. He says it's become a distraction that's hurting test results. The bill requires teachers treat all viewpoints from students equally. It's an issue he hears about from parents.
Students shouldn't be censored from expressing any kind of particular view or opinion.
That includes views based on misinformation, even if they're potentially harmful to others. Nicolaides isn't concerned about hate speech in the classroom because
those goalposts are already outlined by the Criminal Code of Canada.
There is a solution being presented in this bill to a problem that doesn't exist.
This University of Alberta education professor says teachers already follow professional standards to keep their views to themselves. Their training guides discussions about ideology, human rights, and other sensitive subjects.
Perhaps the student comes into the classroom thinking they know everything there is to know about a topic, and then through study, through investigation, they learn that there's a lot more to a topic than they thought.
Peck believes under Bill 25, teachers will choose to avoid touchy topics altogether, a chilling effect the minister doesn't see.
Well, the legislation doesn't limit topics that can be discussed in a classroom in any way, shape, or form. If a teacher wants to challenge a student's particular perspective on any subject, that they can do so in a manner that's fair and free from any personal bias.
It's just right-wing ideology posing as neutrality.
The opposition NDP also takes issue with new flag restrictions in the bill that say schools can only fly the Canada and Alberta flags unless given special permission.
Cut the crap. This is about banning the pride flag, and they're just not brave enough to say that.
Nicolaides says the restrictions could extend to classroom decorations or even stickers or pins on teachers' personal belongings. Those regulations will be ironed out if the bill is passed and enacted for the next school year. Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister was in Alberta today to promote the federal government's plan to boost Canadian resilience. Anita Anand spoke to a crowd in Calgary about boosting an Arctic sovereignty. That includes spending on the Mackenzie Highway running through northern Alberta and into the Northwest Territories. She was pressed on the time it took to build the Trans Mountain Pipeline. She says there was a need to use technologically sound infrastructure. She says on the global scale, people are asking her about Alberta energy.
I just want to underscore the extent to which Alberta
specifically comes up in so many of my bilateral engagements, whether it is on energy, which very few conversations I would have don't mention energy. I mean, honestly, the entire world is focused on Canada's energy expertise and the expertise sitting right here in this room.
The minister also says Canada must capture the market as a credible LNG supplier. The war in Iran has stalled a large portion of global supply. Former PC minister and current CEO of the Canada West Foundation says a 2-week ceasefire in Iran will do little to provide economic stability around the world. Gary Marr says uncertainty in the Middle East is one reason Alberta and Western Canada need to increase access to global markets. He says long-term, Alberta can provide an alternative for the oil, fertilizer, and food that currently moves through the Strait of Hormuz.
Being a democratic, law-abiding nation, we're the best option for many places in the world, and that will continue 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road. And so it's a very good idea that we take advantage of the opportunity that the world markets demand.
Marr says the situation further highlights the need for a pipeline to the West Coast. Still to come tonight on CTV News, what's on the go at Edmonton's Auto Show.
And this is a very special car. This car was initially ordered 3.5 years ago.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You can see and hear some of the newest exotic cars at the Edmonton Auto Experience this weekend.
This is the first Aston Martin Valhalla being delivered in Alberta, and it is for an Edmonton client, so we are unveiling here at the Edmonton Car Show. This car is priced between 1.5 and 2 million Canadian dollars.
Aside from the Aston Martin, you can also check out this Maserati, the first time it's ever been revealed in Canada. You can test drive different cars and trucks, see how to personalize your own rides, or learn more about zero-emission vehicles. 110 different vehicles will also be up for auction. The show's manager says she'd be surprised if you didn't find something you like.
Whether you're looking for a family vehicle, a summer kind of vehicle, maybe you're overlanding or camping, you want to modify something, you're looking for hyper luxury or exotic, or those classics even, we try to have something for everyone.
The Edmonton Auto Experience begins tomorrow at the Edmonton Expo Center, and the final day is Sunday. I can't imagine trying to drive that Aston Martin around Edmonton between the snow we get 8 months of the year and the road conditions in the summer. Yeah, that'd be a bit of a bumpy ride. Might want to get that thing lifted.
So you're not...
no, it wasn't. I thought it was yours.
Just to pick up the car.
No.
Okay. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
Take a look outside right now, and we do have mostly cloudy skies, nice mild temperatures, 5 degrees. A lot of melting going on through the day today, and more of that on the way over the next couple of days. River Valley Skycam is brought to you by Action Furnace, fixed right or it's free. Look at your spring swings that we're going to. This is pretty typical for April. Warms up for a couple days, gets cold for a couple days, warms up for a couple days, gets cold for a couple. So we're coming out of a cool spell. Nice little warm up here Friday, Saturday. Cools off again Sunday, warms up early next week, and then looks like temperatures will trail off again. And each time you get that punch of colder air after a couple of warm days, you run the risk of seeing some snow. 4 of the last 6 years, we've had snow in Edmonton after the 15th of April. So we got a long ways to go here before we're completely done. 3 in Fort McMurray and Grey Prairie. Right now it's 5 in Red Deer and Edmonton. Snow continued through this afternoon across east central and northeastern parts of the province. Here in Edmonton, it's a chance of some scattered showers. This stuff off to the west will miss the Edmonton region. Might roll through the Red Deer area later on tonight. Get a couple pockets here back off to the northwest that may give us a few sprinkles. This snow kind of breaking down now as it approaches the Saskatchewan border. Looks like there's one little pocket of slightly heavier snow getting set to roll through the Vermilion-Lloydminster areas. Overnight tonight, sky should actually clear out a little bit, and I think we'll be partly cloudy through the day tomorrow. Maybe a couple scattered showers further to the west and northwest, but no snow or rain expected in the Edmonton area for tomorrow. And then Friday, sunshine in the forecast. Across the north, you've got some heavier cloud cover, though. And there's the next system that we'll keep an eye on for the weekend. -2 in Edmonton tomorrow morning, -3 in Fort McMurray, and about -9 tomorrow morning in Grey Prairie, but you're back to +9 tomorrow afternoon. Handful of degrees above zero across the northeast, 4 in Lloydminster and 8 for Red Deer. Here in the city, we'll get to about 8, maybe 9. partly cloudy skies. Mainly sunny to partly cloudy for Friday. I've got 14 for both Friday and Saturday. Yeah, maybe we only get to 11 or 12 Saturday. We'll see how quickly this cloud cover thickens up and whether or not we actually get any of this late day precipitation. Sunday's the real question mark. There's a pretty decent chance that parts of either central or northern Alberta will get hit with a nice little snowstorm there on Sunday. Does it stay north of Edmonton or does it roll right through the Edmonton region? That remains to be seen. So come back over the next couple of days and we'll try and iron that out. The Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation's Mighty Millions Lottery, the early bird prize, BMW and Barcelona early bird prize, deadline's midnight Friday. You can win the car and a trip to Barcelona or $200,000 cash. Go to MightyMillionsLottery.com. You do have a chance of either some rain or some snow there Sunday, and then again, warms up Monday, Tuesday, but after it starts to cool down Wednesday, could see another snowstorm for parts of central Alberta. Short term, though, enjoy the little warm up.
All right, Josh, thank you. The rural municipality of Wood Buffalo is making plans to mark the 10th anniversary of the Fort McMurray wildfire.
There was lots of moments where we witnessed human compassion as a powerful tool that helped our community heal. I feel that is a tool that should be recognized and that should be honored.
During a special council meeting, the municipality heard ideas focusing on the community's response. In 2016, the fire burned about 1/3 of Fort Mac. It was the most expensive natural disaster in Canadian history, causing an estimated $9 billion in damage. When we return, en français, a polar bear that understands French makes its zoo debut in Alberta. Tonight on CTV News at 6, soccer fans hoping to grab World Cup tickets might have to shell out big time. Remaining tickets are limited for most of the 7 FIFA matches in Vancouver, but lots are now available on resale sites at a steep markup. Those stories and more tonight on CTV News at 6 with Jeff Hastings. Visitors to the Calgary Zoo can now check out a new polar bear. Yelly has completed his quarantine period and is now exploring his outdoor habitat. The 20-year-old came from Quebec and has his own translator because he is used to commands in French. The translator will work with the zoo staff to help Yelly learn English words and hopefully feel more comfortable in his new home. He's also getting used to the zoo's other polar bear, Siku.
They have had visual barriers in front of them just so that they can get used to the space. Yelly has the opportunity to get out onto the habitat and see everything around him. So they're very much aware of each other. They can smell each other and they hear each other, and sometimes they go up to slides and talk to each other on either side of it.
Eventually, Yelly and Siku will be able to spend time together without a barrier in place, depending on how long it takes for them to get to know each other. And that's our show for this Wednesday evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.